Why do hearing aids work for some and not others? And is it louder better when it comes to a hearing aid? Dr. Gnewikow gives us advice.
There are several issues, but one we can talk about is the loudness of the sound. You would think louder would be better, but louder is not always better. When people have damage to the inner ear, to the little nerve endings we call hair cells, there's a phenomenon called loudness recruitment. It means an abnormally rapid growth in loudness perception. And a lot of times, loud sounds that wouldn't bother a normal ear really bother an ear that's hearing impaired. And it seems a little counterintuitive, but that's what happens. Another issue is something called the upward spread of masking. Now, masking in auditory terms simply means when one sound covers another sound up. Ah. The upward spread of masking means if there's a lot of low frequency sound, like a lot of bass, it affects the high frequencies. And since most individuals have more hearing loss in the high frequencies, if the hearing aids are not properly adjusted, some of the low frequency bass sounds actually make the high frequency sounds less audible. And the last issue is distortion. I don't know if you've ever had an old stereo in your basement or something and you pull it out after years and try to play something and it sounds horrible and you realize that your speaker's got a crack in it. Mm-hmm. So you say, well, let's just turn it up. Well, turning it up makes it worse. It increases the distortion. Turning it down makes it a little better. And if you could think of your inner ear as being significantly distorted, sometimes if you overdrive it, it actually makes the words less clear.
Ah, so what's the solution to this?
Well, one of the solutions is called selective frequency amplification. So with the current technology in hearing aids, we have different bands, frequency bands that we can amplify to different degrees. And so by doing that, we can deal with the upward spread of masking a lot better. We have something called input compression on most amplifiers, particularly on hearing aids, which means the hearing aid will regulate itself depending on how loud the sound in the environment may be. So for a very loud sound, the hearing aid will turn itself down a little bit, and for a very soft sound, the hearing aid will turn itself up a little bit. And the last issue I think that's very helpful is using a hearing aid that not only works automatically, but also has the ability for the patient to regulate their own volume if they need to. And most hearing aids will have that capability. You can turn it off or turn it on with the digital software. So the bottom line is, with a hearing aid, louder is not always better, but your audiologist should be able to address those issues quite well.
And so basically, do they need to come back if they're having issues?
That's exactly right. If you have a hearing aid and the loudness is affecting you, don't assume that you have to live with that. There are adjustments that can be made to deal with that.
And Audiology Hearing Aid Associates has 2 area locations, one on Langhorne Road in Lynchburg, 434-528-4245. Also, a Danville location on Main Street. Their number there, 434-799-6288. And to learn more about them, Dr. G, and everyone else, go to digitalhearing4u.com.